Oh, we've got a question, a sensible question from Periscope. This deserves some recognition. From the Q pundit, so this should be good. Why has Vindman not been reassigned from the White House? And that's a fair question for people who don't understand that now that he's testified, whether he's a real whistleblower or not, he's protected from retaliation, right?
You are correct. There is no retaliation allowed, not for any of them. And frankly, if we were to try to allow Fiona Hill, who is no longer employed, if we were to try to interfere with her getting another job or get her job taken away, that wherever she's at now, that too, we would be probably civilly liable for violating the spirit and if not the letter of the law. So yeah, Vindman is he's a character, and he was like a peacock the next day, going back to work with his twin brother in the White House, snapping selfies and strutting their feathers. So now I think you can transfer him. Listen, but you don't get the deal. Nobody trusted Vindman. Despite what Fiona Hill said, nobody trusted Vindman. Morrison didn't trust Vindman. So Morrison took over for Fiona Hill. Morrison was the boss. Johnny Eisenberg was the counselor for the NSC.
Right.
So Vindman didn't get to go anywhere. Morrison told him to pound sand. He wouldn't let him go to the trip over to Poland when Zelensky was coming over for the UN events. He wouldn't let it. If it was up to Morrison, he never would have let him go over for the inauguration of Zelensky. He knew nothing. He was on a call with 50 other freaking people. And he decided that he was going to be the guy to reach out to Eric Chalamala about this call. And that's how the whistleblower thing started. And the idea that they had was Eric Chalamala would be the initial whistleblower using his CIA position as cover. And Vindman would be whistleblower number 2. And that got blown up pretty quick when Vindman didn't really have an idea. Thanks, bud. That everybody knew that he was already likely to do this. He was already pinned down for leaking. He didn't know. So once they advised him that he was going to be exposed rather easily, Vindman just, goes before Congress, even though we told him not to. People do the start as well. Let's know it's not there. Oh, thanks, bud. That's great. Our friend from down under. So anyway, what you have right now is a siloed Vindman. I mean, he's like, you've got him. It's the same thing I said about Strzok for a while when we left him in. Everybody was screaming about having Strzok working in the Human Resources Department at the FBI. Well, eventually he got fired, and eventually Vindman will get fired when this whole thing is over. And that's probably the right move. Can you imagine the news cycles? Trump transfers Vindman. Now, what are you going to transfer him to? I mean, here's a guy that the only thing he knows in this world is Ukrainian issues. He is Ukrainian. What are you going to do? Dump him off somewhere else in the Department of State, or worse, the CIA, where it's already a rat's nest of people that are whistleblowers? So realistically, this pound of flesh shit, it's far too late for that. I mean, you should really be asking the right question, which is why the F was he ever there in the first place? And if they would have figured, I mean, if it was that bad and you knew he was leaking, he should have been thrown out. Don't forget that the original whistleblower here, Mr. Eric Chalamala, was on the NSC as well inside the White House after Trump was sworn in. And this is the guy that was basically, baptized into politics by Obama and Biden. So just stupidity all around. And Bannon got Chalamala booted out of the NSC. And that's how he ended up over at the CIA. And Vindman, they should have done the same thing before it got this far. So it's on them. It's on Morrison. It's on Eisenberg, and it's on Bolton, and it's on Mulvaney.
Thanks for watching the MAGA Coalition channel. Remember to subscribe to our channel and turn notifications on to get the best political analysis that is free of clickbait and gaslighting. Because in a world of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.